Hello, I'm Howard Glasser. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. I'm creator of the Nurtured Heart Approach, and I teach people how to work with a child's intensity and take it from going awry to using it in beautiful ways.
So, remember I said this question is going to introduce what we're doing today? So yeah. We're going to be finding today, our purpose is we're going to find angles that we don't know by adding other angles or subtracting other angles to find out those unknown angles, okay? I see we have a moment of greatness. So the signal I see, Hayden, who would you like to honor? So we're going to stop curriculum and then switch to a moment of greatness.
I want to honor Stacey and Gerard because they are being like nice to us by just, and Howard Glasser by like doing the video for him, and also like taking your time and coming to see us.
Thank you.
It turns out that kids read energy like Braille. And it's very easy for a kid who has more life force, more intensity, to look at their world and see the truth of their world, that when things are going well, that people are seemingly less interested in who they are and see them in less profound ways. And when things start going poorly, people start leaning in and becoming alive and getting excited about them, and kids accidentally drink in the energetic impression that life is sweeter when things go wrong, and that people love intensity going wrong. They love negativity. People say be respectful, but they hardly get any notice when they're being respectful as compared to when they're being disrespectful. That's when people seem to celebrate them the most. So the Nurtured Heart Approach is about turning that impression around. And the reality of turning a difficult child around, an intense and challenging child around, is really not that difficult. It's really predicated on some very simple, basic things, and the techniques just are supports of that core understanding. There's three things. One is, I'm not going to give the gift of me to you through negativity anymore. It's not going to happen anymore. I'm only going to give myself to you. I'm only going to attend to you. I'm only going to speak to you by expressing my appreciation and my conveyance of the beauty I see in you. That's the second thing. And the third thing is, if you cross a line, I'm not going to pretend it didn't happen. I'm just going to let you know in a very simple way that the line has been crossed by saying something simple like reset. And as soon as the problem isn't happening, I'm going to be geared up even more to seeing the beauty in you.
I see Ollie's eyes, Spencer's eyes. Thank you. Nina, I see your eyes. Okay. Anthony, could you explain what you got for angle B? You guys are being so patient, letting him think right now. No one's telling him the answer.
I need help.
And you have the initiative to ask for help. Thank you, Anthony, for being respectful too, not just keeping us waiting. If you didn't know the whole time, you knew that you could ask for help, and you trust that you have friends to help you. Go ahead, raise your hand if you would like to help Anthony out. So Nurtured Heart has allowed me to have meaningful relationships with my kids because I'm constantly looking for what's right in them versus what they're doing wrong. And same with them. They're doing that to myself and the other people in the classroom, and it just helps scaffold this beautiful relationship that we have together. And it's really open and transparent. And I don't tell my kids I love them, but one kid came up to me saying, I know you love us because of all the things you say to us. And I was like, you're right. I don't need to say those words. You already know. And that's what Nurtured Heart helps. When you have a right angle, And so this whole thing is going to equal how many degrees? 90. But from here to here equals 65 degrees, and I want you to figure out what angle B equals.
You know, when you go into a classroom with a teacher that's using the nurtured heart approach, instantly you know you've entered an environment that is not like your typical environment of a classroom. The nurtured heart approach has really, I think, revolutionized the power a teacher has over creating a culture and a climate in their classroom that really promotes positive relationships among the kids and helps the kids understand how to create a positive relationship with themselves and see themselves in not just a positive light, but in a light that truly inspires them to recognize the contributions that they make in the classroom.
So put that half sheet of paper in the middle of your desk. And then get out your whiteboard and your marker, or you could write on your desk. I see that you stacked them neatly in the pile too, Madeline. Thank you. Whiteboard, marker, and eraser. Ollie's ready. I see that you have your marker out. You're not talking. I see Caleb's ready. Tyler's ready with your marker. You're not even drawing either, even though you have your marker right in your hand. What self-discipline you have, Tyler? So I learned the Nurtured Heart approach in my first year teaching, and my principal came to a meeting and she said, she was new to the school, and she said that she learned the Nurtured Heart approach and it completely changed her life. And I was like, oh my goodness, well, I want to change my life. That sounds amazing. So I went to a 6-week class, read a book about it, and then I went to a CTI a week long, and I just dove right into it, and right away I started applying it within just my classroom and how I spoke with kids, and I was very purposeful about what I said at first. And then it became just to transform every part of my life. I mean, it's how I see adults and how I communicate in all my relationships, and being able to communicate in a positive way. And in the classroom, it's nice because I always, when I first learned, you know, when I was first a teacher, I always wanted to be able to be kind to kids and not yell at them, but then have rules and have them do, you know, what I wanted them to do. And so I felt like this was perfect for me because it gave clear rules and still being able to communicate with them in a nice, positive way. And I get to tell them about their greatness all the time and what I see in them, and then they become aware on who they are. And that works with any, you know, relationship in my life. And I love that I get to do that and bring out the, you know, the greatness in them and people.
About 15 years ago, I started training trainers. I started teaching people how to go out in their world and do what I was doing, either as an educator or as a treatment professional. And now there are many people in many communities who are teaching this in ways that are very exciting. I mean, in the beginning, it didn't even have a name. You know, it was probably 5 years before I started calling it Nurtured Heart Approach. And at some point, as I started seeing the beauty of sharing this in bigger ways, I started, you know, collaborating with the universe who is pushing me out of the nest. And I started making it my mission to create opportunities to teach all around the country. And now it's all around the world, which is kind of fun.
Howard Glasser is not like anybody I've ever met. He's a mix of highly intelligent and reflective and digs deep for ideas and information, and you know, can talk at length about, you know, his philosophies and, you know, what he sees in people and his ideas, and, you know, he can inspire people with his stories and his demeanor. You know, he's calm yet he's excitable. You know, he's, you know, serious about this approach, and yet he's a little kid. I mean, he's got a spirit and a lightness to him and a humor that, you know, wouldn't anticipate from someone who's accomplished so much. I feel like if someone's going to get the Nobel Peace Prize, it should be Howard Glasser.
I'm concerned that when things don't go well, when we say you need medication, we are sending a message to a child that in essence is something's wrong with you because of your life force. We need to make it go away. I was one of these kids, and nobody knew what to do with me, and I wound up channeling my intelligence into convoluted ways of annoying people. And it seems so innocent, and the thinking is, oh, he'll outgrow it. And maybe I have, or maybe I haven't, but I think in the process there was a long, strenuous, desperate, dicey period where the jury was out on how it was going to go. And in the process I lost a lot of relationship with my parents, with other people. I risked my life, and I think my passion is that I don't want kids to go through what I went through. I want them to know their greatness early on. I want early onset greatness. I don't want them to have to maybe, hopefully, find it when they're 40, 50, or 60 years old. And I think, in truth, for every one of me who emerges on the upside of intensity gone awry, there's probably 50 or 100 people who have various forms of disarray in their life, of despair in their life. Maybe out of 100 people who grew up like me, many are dead and long gone. Maybe many are living under bridges. Maybe many are desperados in other ways, living lesser lives. So I think I count my blessings, and I think I'm really fortunate, but I in no way take it for granted that kids who have this early pattern of believing they get more life through negativity simply reemerge into their life as a given. They need help. And if it turns out that I play a role in turning that around and in teaching method to the world that makes a difference, so be it. I think kids deserve to know how great they are. I think they need a new message. It's you're more than just the bad kid, and more than just the good kid. You're the great kid with great things to contribute.